if you start hanging around in men's rights groups or red pill groups or anti-feminist groups, you start hearing the term AWOLT, which means all women are like that. And then you'll see the rebuttal, NAWOLT, not all women are like that. Not too long ago, I came across EWOLT, enough women are like that. And I think that one is more accurate for most of the things that get talked about. Because now, the women in these groups, we try not to be overly sensitive and emotional because we don't want to get lumped in with AWOL. But it can be at times frustrating to be lumped in with all the females that you're taking part in trying to counteract. So EWOLT is a better term. Anyhow, why are so many women quote unquote like that? That's a question that I've thought about. I think some women are just a product of the culture today, which encourages and to some extent rewards selfish, immature behavior from women, such as, you know, I'm a queen and I don't have to do anything, and a man should lick my toes and love me no matter what kind of bitch I am on a regular basis. And then in the court system, obviously the family court system is terrible for men and rewards women for being selfish and petty and throwing accusations around. It makes zero sense that a child can lose out on time with their father over an abuse claim in a family court. That should be a criminal court matter, and if she actually has proof, that's where it should be handled, in my opinion. So why are some women on the side of anti-feminism? If everything's rigged in our favor, why do any of us even bother? Well, I know that there are some women who just have their eyes open, or their husband does, or somebody around them introduce them to the idea. There's a lot of tradcon type women that just aren't on board with feminism, regardless of whether they've quote unquote taken the red pill or any of that. They just aren't on board with feminism because it doesn't follow their values. A lot of women are probably like me. I think the first hint of that I was going to be red pilled was I was single a few years back and had a couple of frustrating dating experiences, and my friend said to me, well, all guys are like that. And I got mad. I said, no, they're not. And I don't believe that. I don't believe all men are dogs. I don't believe all men are liars. I don't believe all men are cheaters. Just because I haven't found, you know, the right one for me does not mean that I should categorize them all. And then, in fact, maybe I should think about what it is about me that's causing me to choose men that aren't so great. And so I fixed myself, and then I found a great guy. So that was the first hint. But then this great guy, within 6 months of our initial dating, he had to go to court twice, which was accumulative from the times before I met him to that time, made 9 times in his daughter's life, who was only 7 at the time. I believe it's something like that. 7, 8, 9 times he had been to court in her life, still trying to get basic visitation. First, third, and fifth weekends, every other spring break, every other Christmas and Thanksgiving, a month in the summer. Only once. Still, she's 10 now. And this summer will only be his second time to have ever gotten a 30-day visitation with her. They always found some reason to take him to court. Right before he was supposed to get a week or get a month, they'd take him to court so that he couldn't exercise it on some trumped up charge that turned out not to be accurate, but it didn't matter. It still interfered with his visitation, and she was never held accountable for any of it. My husband, he's my husband now, had represented himself at times and managed to get this woman to perjure herself on the stand. The judge told her, you need to be real careful, you're about to perjure yourself, or you have, or whatever. And so even then he might have won against whatever charge they were trying to bring against him, but he couldn't just get standard visitation. So anyways, it really opened my eyes to see this firsthand, because my impression of the courts from my experiences was, I didn't think there was a huge bias towards women. I think mine was very situational. The judges that I happened to be in front of were fair, and you know, my kid, I have 50-50 custody with my youngest son and no child support. And so anyways, that was just, you know, I'm capable of working and he's capable of taking care of our son 50-50, so it was never even a thought to me. So seeing what my husband was going through was very eye-opening for me, and that's definitely, I think that is a reason why many women do finally end up on the side of anti-feminism and men's rights, is because of personal experiences. I think what we all need to maybe focus on is, how do we present our message in such a way that it's palatable to women? And I'm not sure what the answer is. They have such an unfair advantage in so many areas, and I don't know how you convince somebody to give it up. The only way is to really convict them of how unfair it is for men and how much men are suffering, and the media is covering that up. They're covering up the suicide statistics by focusing on teenage female suicide statistics, and they cover up male rape by only talking about female rape, etc. It's coded into the law that women can't rape somebody, which is ludicrous. So I guess I don't have a solution, but I just wanted to share my thoughts. That's it.